Ooh, better one. Lakeville neighborhood or St. Paul east of Dale Street?
I can't believe you said East of Dale Street. Oh my god.
And whose team is this? Is this your team? Or is this your daddy's team?
Thanks for listening to Dad Mode Podcast. Common sense parenting in a politically correct world. Here's your host, Andy Carlson.
Welcome back to the Dad Mode Podcast, Common Sense Parenting in a Politically Correct World. I'm your host, Andy Carlson, at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter machine. I'm a father, and I have no idea what I'm doing, but you don't either. They're chiefy, so let's try and learn something together today. The website is dadmodepod.com, Twitter at dadmodepod, or just use the hashtag dadmode. And today, you'll never guess who's back. Nick. Hi.
Hey, glad to be back.
On Twitter at Nickason. Uncle Nick is back in the building, and it's been a while. It's been like 5 episodes since you've been on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been pretty busy. Having laptop issues. As I told you earlier. So.
Now, what is the exact laptop issue?
My DC power jack on my laptop isn't working well, so I can't plug my laptop into it and have it charged all the time. I have to like adjust the cord a specific way, or I have to like jam the cord in the machine to get it charged.
DC Power Jack. I called dibs on it as a band name.
I'm sure a lot of people will love that.
DC Power Jack, opening for the Uncle Nick Trio.
The trio. Who are
now,
my other two
if you did have a band, would it be like Ben Folds 5, except there's only 3 dudes in it?
I think so. I was never into big bands like me playing.
So you're not into Gwar or Slipknot?
Not really, no.
Fago, though, Nick. All right, let's dive into today's topic. And since Nick's been gone, we went to the Saturday weekly format since football season, and Purple for the Win, cranking out 5 episodes a week. The highly rated #1 independent Minnesota Vikings podcast, Purple for the Win, by the way. Schedules, it's hard to do, but we're here on Saturday with our weekly show. Topic today: neighborhood kids. Now, we just bought a house a couple months ago, and we're scouring the neighborhood, and it is kind of nice that we're in proximity to Crystal's cousins and her kids, and so they'll be around the same age as little Margaret. But just looking around the neighborhood, there's some young kids. There's some maybe 1 or 2 years old that I'm already a little worried. It's like, are they going to be fun neighborhood kids? Are they going to go to the park? We have a very nice park to play some basketball, play some pickup football. Or are these kids going to sell meth to Margaret?
Whoa.
At age 8. Hey, Muggsy. Hey, Muggsy. This is my voice as an 8-year-old. I'll trade you your peanut butter and jelly sandwich for some meth.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be that scary.
It's rough and tumble streets down here in Farmington, Lakeville, Rosemount, Apple Valley, Nick.
I really want to believe that. I don't know. It's
the Rough Riders have their own chapter here. Also, the Latin Kings.
The Latin Kings.
Also, the Aryan Brotherhood. Actually, the last part might not be so far-fetched, but that's an argument for another day. So, growing up in your neighborhood, in the ghettos of Roseville, what was the neighborhood kid dynamic there?
I was very fortunate. I had a good amount of friends my age. I lived on top of a cul-de-sac, and I had friends who lived in that cul-de-sac. There were some neighboring kids across the street too. I was very fortunate. We had what's important, I think, is to have obviously kids your age, but also having a good relationship with the families. As what I'm saying is like my mom and dad got along great with the parents of the neighbors, and and such.
People got along with your dad?
Yeah, people like my dad.
I could see that. I've never met your dad, but I want to hang out with him and do pull tabs.
Ugh.
Or sorry, watch him do pull tabs.
No. Scratch offs.
Oh, do you know there's I forget which state it is, but they have a $30 scratch off now.
Oh, really? I know there's $10 ones in Minnesota. There's at least 10. I want to say maybe I think I may have seen some as 20. Growing up in a gambling household, I've always knew to look, but I haven't like today. Like I don't do scratch offs today, but I always look when I'm at a gas station counter. I glance. I know what to look for.
Now, going back to the pull tabs, you walk into a bar, which is, more like a towny kind of a dive bar, which is like my forte. It's good when they have a pull tab station and they actually have a full-time employee that works back there.
Oh yeah, no, I love that. I think your odds are much better that way. You usually can it's the couple of the regulars who always play, but then there's like if you come in on a random like Tuesday, Wednesday night or something, you throw off the cheat. You throw off the regular gamblers, they're zen. You throw it off if you're trying to throw in $20-$30, trying to get that big 150 big one, but
let's see, Massachusetts and California. Of course, California have the $30 scratch off tickets. All right, so diverting from that, who were some of your best friends growing up in your neighborhood? Wait, don't you still hang out with that one dude with the thing?
The one dude with the thing, yes. My buddy Rick, who works at Shamrocks in St. Paul, which is where I regularly go to on Thursdays or Saturday nights. He's knowing him for as long as I have. I mean, we're not just friends. I mean, he's a family friend. I trust him like a brother. It's when you have that type of that proximity where you're so close, and when your families are so close, I mean, you kind of have that strong bond. And
so what's the age difference between you and Rick?
I'm a year and 2 months older than him.
Okay, and as far as neighborhood proximity, down the street, down the block, what?
Down the cul-de-sac. My street was going. The street I lived on went north south. The cul-de-sac that he lived on was east west, and like he was at like that bottom, the ball end of the cul-de-sac.
Yep.
And the cul-de-sac came. I don't know how else to describe it. And then I was at the cul-de-sac went straight on my house, straight to my house. So, So, I was that 500 feet or something?
All right. So when you guys were growing up, what would be, like the average, day of hanging out for you two?
Video games. We were video gamers. So, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, those, and riding bikes. We live pretty close to a park, a couple of gas stations. We would, bike there. On
that Super America that used to be by your old house, that thing was ghetto.
When we were younger, it was a lot different. And we had another like local gas station we used to bike to, not near any major project houses. It was like we knew we had places that we could go.
And I grew up in a not so urban neighborhood, but it was still quasi in town. Well, it was in town, except it was a small town of 2,000 people. And I had a couple of good neighborhood friends, and we'd always go down to the little park that was down the street from us called the Green, and play football, play baseball, basketball, all the other things and whatnot. And I think that's good. I think it's very important. And with the suburbs nowadays, I know that they're very conscious about trying to get as many parks in as possible, but I feel like there's not enough. And I feel like there's just so many like cookie cutter little neighborhoods that, if you have your kid and if they're the only kid, or there's a gap between siblings like you and your brother, and there's no neighborhood kids around, maybe that kid's going to be kind of weird, maybe a little socially awkward. Maybe he sits down in his basement and plays video games all day. Maybe he writes a communist manifesto. Maybe he's on the dark web. Maybe he ends up shooting up a school. That's that's a little too far. But it is very important to have kids, their age, to be able to socialize outside of school. because I know you make your friends in school, but it's kind of like prison where you have yard time and then pretty much every other minute of your day is doled out to labor or learning, etc. So it's like making friends outside of prison. It's important.
That's interesting you said that because the one thing about my buddy Rick is that we were neighbors, but we went to different elementary and middle school. So, yeah. So during the day,
because Rick was a gifted kid and you weren't.
Shut up! I was kind of gifted.
It's good having you back. Sorry, proceed.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Dick. I never did figure out why we went to different schools. I don't know. I think I don't know if his parents and my parents we went to separate elementary schools. I went to one that was
Minnesota. We are so progressive and the old open enrollment and everything. But although it's weird, if we lived across the street of Pilot Knob, Muggsy would go to a different elementary, different middle school, different high school, which is kind of weird to me.
Well, that's interesting.
Like if she lived across the street, she would be Lakeville South High School. But since we live on this side, we go to Farmington, even though the Farmington school is on that side of Pilot Knob.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. It's down on like Highway 50. It's down there. It's like a giant, brand new, like Pantheon building of a high school. Looks pretty sweet. Go Tigers!
I mean, I'm comparing my growing up of the '90s compared to now. I mean, in the next 5 to 10 years when Muggsy gets a little bit older, things might change. I mean, neighborhood kids. I mean, you might have a nice friendly niche like I kind of grew up in, but maybe Muggsy, maybe across the street, maybe they could be, dealing meth. I don't know. It's a crapshoot. I think a lot of people. I bet all our listeners had different experiences.
I would prefer if Muggsy sells it and not uses it. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I'm sure everyone would prefer that.
Like I want her to be Walter White instead of Pinkman. Except you never watched Breaking Bad. You're the only white person who's never seen Breaking Bad, by the way.
I'm half Filipino. Yeah, no, I just never got into it. I figured it kind of, from what I've seen in like previews and commercials, I kind of like it mirrors my life too much.
Now, as far as bad influences in the neighborhood, were there any like shady kids in your neighborhood growing up? Any sort of gang influence, etc.?
No. My part of Roseville was pretty calm. Yeah, we didn't have any no gangs. I mean,
like there wasn't the weird kid in the neighborhood that someone's cat goes missing, it ends up being slaughtered in an alleyway, and you find a couple of dead birds just on sidewalks, and you're like, that Timmy, he ain't right. I don't want you hanging out with Timmy anymore.
No, not at all.
What? Oh, you were Timmy. So that's why you didn't recognize
I was not Timmy. Oh my God, no.
Yeah, no. It's like the saying is, if you sit down in a poker game and you can't spot the fish within an hour, you are the fish. You are the Timmy, Nick.
No, I did not kill any of my animals on purpose. They died of natural, me not caring about them causes.
All right, now say there was an unsavory element, some kid that you liked when you were younger, hanging around with, but was a bad influence, and looking back now, you could see that for sure. How would your mom have handled the situation? Because I feel like that's something that always comes up in like parenting talks or like sitcoms and stuff. It's like, oh, how do you get your kid or your tween to stop hanging around with the bad kid?
That's someone from a TV and like, you see the Saved by the Bell episode? Why won't you end up like Zach at the end of the episode?
Very special one where Slater gets wasted.
Or the one where what's her name does a lot of speed pills to keep her awake. Jessie, the one where she does like a bunch of caffeine pills or something. Where, oh man, she gets addicted and stuff to stay awake so she can study it.
Yeah, which talks about the effect of people getting hooked on speed pills, which no one has ever done, except for truckers, except for the Walmart trucker who hit Tracy Morgan. But anyways.
I mean, my parents were straight up and honest. I think they would have said, "Hey, listen, don't hang around this kid."
Ooh, what if they would have said, "Don't hang out with Rick. We don't like Rick. We don't like the look of his face."
Like the look of his face. Um, they would never say that about Rick. That's not
Because
right.
Chelsea's on a vacation far away. Oh, no, that's the outfield. That's not Rick Springfield.
No, that's
What
I
is
think
a
of
Rick Springfield song?
Jesse's girl.
Oh, the angel is centerfold. Angel is centerfold.
That's Jay Giles' band.
Damn it.
Don't mess with any of these master of music. I will think of the song right away.
All right, fine. Now, how would you deal with this situation? Say you were the parent and you do have, like, your kid is about 10 or 12 years old, and there's like a group of kids that are kind of hooliganish. You wouldn't quite call it a gang, but bad things happen when they're hanging out together. And, they're part of the cool kids, and, the baby girl wants to be part of that. But, you don't want her hanging out with them, but you also don't want to cramp her style. Like, what would you do?
Oh my god, I feel like this was a Full House episode.
Speaking of which, the baby is mooing, so I'll bring her in here real quick. So you keep talking.
Okay, well, that is such a tough one. I think in today's society, there's a bunch of kids. I mean, obviously there are cool kids, but then there's like the nerdy, safe kids who can be safe. And if they weren't neighbors, if there's someone where I want my kid to hang out with these kids, but I have to like go out of my way to drive them, a couple miles down the road to like where they live, so they can hang out and play. I'd be okay with that. It's just a bad crowd when you have a bad group. That influences kids. I mean, I don't want my kid to be poorly influenced.
Mm-hmm. And see, this is the beauty of this show because Muggsy just woke up from her nap, so I have her. I'm feeding her a bottle right now, and the power of the Dad Mode podcast, Nick.
You are the dad.
Also, I disagree with everything you just said.
Whoa.
Actually, I didn't catch any of what you said.
Well, you're going to have to listen to the episode to hear what I said.
But I kind of agree.
Because it's just, as I said, 2015 technology, I can drive my kid anywhere. If we're surrounded by a bunch of hooligans I don't want my kid to hang around with, I'll take them to hang out with friends and make other friends. There's more than just the stupid popular group. There's so many different cliques nowadays. If they want it, if my kid can be, my kid wants to be sporty, I'll let them hang out with the sporty kids. I'll go out of my way to help them. I will, if they want to be with the nerdy kids.
What was that song, like late 90s, early 2000s, like punk, where it was like, finally found a clique to call my own. Oh, Good Charlotte.
Finally found a clique.
Yeah. Yeah, so, with the 2015, if Nick was growing up and was like 10 or 12 years old in 2015, you could drive him to the video game cliques over in the South Metro. Yeah, even growing up in Roseville. The Magic the Gathering conferences and get-togethers at the card clubs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's something that you should be into, Nick.
What, Magic?
Yeah.
I never got into cards. I don't know. My friends, as I said, I have my buddy Rick, my buddy Jay and Kyle, my buddy Nate. We were video gamers. They kind of played sports, but I was on the sidelines. I hate all the sports I tried, but it was fine. I think we just got along.
DJ Shazzy?
No.
Damn it! Whatever happened to that guy?
My buddy Shazad. He's doing really good things. He worked for Facebook for a while. He worked for like the World Economic Group or something called the World Economic Group or something, some big organization. I don't know what he does now.
He works for Spectre.
I think so. I think he does work for Spectre.
Dun it. By the way, I haven't seen very many good reviews for Spectre, which sucks.
Oh, that's too bad. I do want to see it. I was hoping to go today or tomorrow. So.
Yep. Now, what would you say is the nerdiest thing the kids you grew up with did, and what would you say would be the worst thing? And yeah, you can be candid. I mean, your brother's not going to hear this and be like, I can't believe Nick smoked weed out of a dead cat that he killed in the alleyway. He's Timmy.
God, nerdy thing. I mean, let me think. I mean, our obsession with video games. I mean, that's kind of.
Were you the kids that would get together on the weekend, stay up all night, fueled by like Mountain Dew and like I don't know Tostino's pizza rolls, and just play video games and stay up all night?
Oh yeah, yep, that's us. Oh, okay, nerdy. Okay, I guess the nerdy thing I remember us doing is, we would camp. We'd is
this like a Stand By Me story?
No.
All right.
There's a quick one. I remember we would camp in one of our yards, and then like we'd have a radio, and we would listen to the radio all night, and like, I think with our phones, I mean not cell phones, obviously. I think our parents had the cordless phones. We tried to get as far from the house as we could with the signal of the cordless phone, and we would try calling in radio stations late at night to request songs.
Oh, I thought you were gonna call girls, but no, that wouldn't be.
Girl scared me. I was scared. I'm so scared. Girls.
Were we calling into the All Cool All Request open house party with John Garabedian?
I don't know. No, I don't even remember who. It might have been back when like Tony Fly was at KWB or something.
All right, now.
So that was the nerdiest thing we did. I didn't really do any bad things, so sorry to bore you with that one. But. So
you tell me you never vandalized anything?
We got in trouble a lot for curfew, I guess. That was our as I said, we lived pretty close to a park. I think there was one night we were there till like after 9. I think me and my buddies Rex were like 8 or 9 or something by ourselves, or with like a couple other friends, and like our parents didn't know where we were and stuff. And it was because our bike lock was like stuck and we couldn't like unlock it or something. And like our parents, like my mom and her station wagon, my buddy Rick's mom and her minivan, like both drove up. Like, where were you guys? We're looking everywhere for you. Like, we're stuck. Like, it was late. It was late for elementary school kids to be out. Because the park was like a couple miles down the road.
See, we should have had a pre-show meeting, and you should have just made up stuff like, my crew and the Aryan Brotherhood kids, they rumbled.
Yeah, we rumbled.
Like the Sharks and the Jets, or like in the Outsiders, or no, Warriors. Yeah, come on, play.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Warriors. Yeah, that's what I really meant. Yeah, bike lock. No, we killed a guy.
All right, now, if you did find yourself, raising your kid in a bad neighborhood, would you, try to, I don't know, clean up the neighborhood as much as you can as a single member of the neighborhood, or just move and say F it? What?
I mean, if it looked like none of the other people around me gave a damn, yeah, I would move. I would, yeah, that's
right, so like Roseville now.
No, Roseville's fine.
Parts of Roseville.
Parts of Roseville's fine, yes. I definitely want to give places a chance, I mean, I don't believe in the stereotype that, if you're born and raised in like the ghetto, the kid's not ghetto. I mean, there's a lot of good kids out there. They just need a little bit more influence, and, I'm thinking when I get married and raise my kids, I'll be a good influence, hopefully. And, I want my kid to be a positive attitude kid who can set good examples. And, if there are troubled kids, I want to give them a chance for my kid to corrupt them with the goodness of being good. If that makes sense.
Start a gang called the Apple Dumpling Gang, which is actually a thing, I'm pretty sure.
Apple Dumpling. That sounds familiar.
I think it was like a TV show, I want to say.
I'll Google that.
Or Sugar Hill Gang, I guess. I agree with you about the neighborhood. That's kind of one of the reasons why we picked a suburb spot where there isn't a lot of flux in like you would in like a St. Paul suburbs, St. Louis Park, even Minneapolis, where the neighborhood is good for 1 year, and then 5 years down the line, you have no idea because places are going back and forth with flux, urban renewal, etc. The hipsters moving in and out, so just kind of shifts like that. And beyond the fact of the good schools, good housing prices, and being close to family, it's Farmington, Lakeville, Rosemount, pretty much going to be the same in 10, 15 years as it is now. Is that kind of ass backward thinking, or is it kind of legit?
I don't know what to think of. I think anything can change. Honestly, I mean, not in the short term, but long term, I think anything can happen. Who knows, political aspects or economic aspects of where the world's coming to. Minnesota right now as a state is ranked like one of the top 5, I think, states to raise kids. Like one of the top schools. Who knows with any other?
If you're looking at a neighborhood in Lakeville, and a neighborhood in, I don't know, say like New Hope, like which would you bet would be the same like it is now in 15 years?
I guess Lakeville, but
or as people call it, No Hope.
There is hope in New Hope. I was thinking, but there's a good chance I think New Hope can turn around and maybe they can be 20 times better than they are before. Who knows? As I said, who knows who will come in? Congressman or some type of economic stimulant or something like could
better one. Lakeville neighborhood or St. Paul east of Dale Street.
Fuck. I can't believe you said east of Dale Street. Oh my god.
Well, I guess you could make the argument that it couldn't get any worse.
Because my family is from that, and yeah, it was rough back then. It's still rough now. So,
I guess you could say that it's more likely to stay the same because it's the same.
It's St. Paul.
I mean, there's some nice parts of St. Paul, just like Highlands and anything south of 94.
The Como area, family in the Como area. I love Como area myself. He said east of Dale Street. Oh man, it's some of it can be rough, but I won't say it's necessarily bad. I think there are some good people that come out of that area. Just
like your cousins.
Yeah, my family turned out fine. They're rough and All
right, now if money was no object, where would you pick to raise your kids right now in like the Twin Cities metro area? And you're like taking out like Wayzata and Minnetonka and Orano and all that stuff, just like a nice working class neighborhood. Like where would you pick?
Those were honestly the two cities I was gonna say. Minnetonka. I was gonna say Wayzata too. I do love the western suburbs. I might do Maple Grove. I might do Eden Prairie.
Mm-hmm.
It's always top notch. Oh, Roseville. I don't know.
All right, so let that be a lesson, people. Nick says everything east of Dale Street is garbage.
And my God, I did not say that. I love.
That's gonna be the title of this episode.
No.
All right, fine. And Maple Grove is up there. It's like Maple Grove is basically North Dakota.
Are you talking about distance wise, or are you talking about the amount of people wise? Maple Grove, I think, is like. I think fancier than Minnetonka. I think it's. I want to compare it almost to like a Wayzata almost.
I like it in that it is like almost self-contained, where they basically have everything. It's like a civic area as opposed to just another suburb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you even know about Maple Grove? I figured you never been up in the northwestern suburbs.
No, we've been up there. I mean, we looked at houses all over the place, and that's why I know east of Dale Street. Because our realtor told us about east of Dale Street.
That's a thing. That's a realtor thing.
Of course, she's from Wayzata, so maybe she has a skewed view.
No, she actually. That's honestly that east of Dale Street. It's the funniest thing ever.
EODS, the key to Minnesota real estate. EODS. All right. I don't know what we accomplished, but yeah, we did something.
I mean, as I said, I think with with neighborhood kids, I want to stress that it's about not just the proximity of the neighborhood kids and their relationship together, but it's the families that are part of it. You know, it's like with my mom and dad being close with the family of the kids who were neighbors. I mean, like, we were all neighbor friends. It was a second family. It's what it really is. And
yeah, neighbor friends. Speaking of friends, tell a friend about the show. Nick, who have you told recently about Dad Mode?
I talk about it at work all the time.
Mm.
My buddy Mark, who is trying to do his own podcast, I was telling him he knows about it. It's big.
It looks pretty spiffy. We should get Mark to do the theme music for the show.
I'll let you talk to him at some point. So.
And a Dad Mode tonight. That's Rick Springfield.
No, that's Outfield still.
All right, fine. Also, Amazon. dadmodepod.com, top left corner. Click through our Amazon banner. Take you to Amazon and bookmark the link. Every time you buy something from Amazon. Holidays are coming up. No, not holidays. Christmas is coming up. You SOBs, you PC SOBs. So buy all of your frivolous gifts for all of the family that you hate through Amazon. Because materialism is show them how you love them. Don't spend time with your kids. Just buy them iPads and stuff. Preferably through our link, and it'll keep the lights on the show. Nick, what's the next thing that you're going to buy through Amazon? Don't say car visor.
Oh my God, what's wrong with saying?
Don't say pushing daisies.
No, I did not buy pushing daisies. No, it's not me at all. Christmas coming up. Trying to look for stuff for my nieces.
Yep.
Probably Disney themes, so you can always buy Disney stuff on Amazon. So I'm sorry. Yeah.
Is Frozen still a thing? It's been like 3 years.
It's still a thing. They're making another movie.
Frozen as well, instead of Frozen 2.
Thawed.
There you go. Just get rid of that damn snow monster, the snowman. Olaf. Screw that guy.
Whoa, hey, I was Olaf for Halloween.
He ruined a premise for a fantastic TV show about Bill Pullman as the president. He was the reason that the show was canceled.
No, why? What?
Nobody likes him.
Whoa, nothing wrong with Olaf.
They should bring that show back just without him.
Wait, what show are you talking about?
Because I think it would work. Huh?
Oh, wait, what show are you talking about?
The show where Bill Pullman was the president is about the first family, and I think his name is Josh Gad. Like he was one of the kids, and he was annoying.
He was not a kid. There's no way. He's like an adult.
Well, he's like an adult kid in the White House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look it up. The show is available on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at DadModePod, me at Andy Carlson Show, or Nick at Nickerson. Nick, how many followers do you have?
200 maybe? No.
Let's get Nick up to at least 150 by the weekend.
Yay, wait. I think I have more than 150.
That means unfollow Nick.
Oh.
Hashtag unfollow Nick.
Oh.
Fine. Our website is dadmodepod.com. But until next time, be a man, be a father, and go Dad Mode. See ya.
Think the episode you just heard is worth $1? Well, send it our way. Visit dadmodepod.com/support to find out how. Be a man, be a father. Go Dad Mode. The music is created and produced by deeB. To hear more of his tracks, visit soundcloud.com/deeB.